Hi there guys, it's Black History Month here in the UK, so I think it would be appropriate that I give you my top 10 black wrestlers of all time. First of all, I'm going to give some honourable mentions. We've got Coco Beware, great wrestler, quite fast, quite good in the ring, appeared at quite a few WrestleManias, had a great gimmick with his parrot, liked it a lot. Next we've got New Jack. He is a fucking piece of shit, New Jack, a really horrible, detestable person. He's done a lot of shoots in the middle of the ring, legitimately hurting people. But despite that, he was actually pretty damn entertaining in ECW when he was there, so in a way he kind of deserves to get a mention. Next, Abdullah the Butcher was never the best wrestler of all time, quite a big fat guy, but he was very hardcore for the time. He used to cut people up. You look at his head, there's literally chunks of skin missing. It's pretty disgusting, which adds to his charm. Next, we've got Ernie Ladd. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know too much about this guy, but I know that he was like quite a big star in the 80s, played Andre the Giant a few times, actually got him over the rope. Obviously Andre the Giant was never pinned in 15 years, but he went up against him a few times. Tall guy, quite good character, check him out on YouTube, pretty entertaining. Next we got Jacqueline. I gotta say, I always thought Jacqueline was pretty damn sexy. She's got a nice fat juicy ass, big yummy tits, and she's quite short. I'm quite a short guy, so I quite appreciate her size. Like, I'd have a chance in real life perhaps. Great wrestler in the ring as well. I think she deserves a mention. Good shit, like her a lot. Next, R-Truth. I like R-Truth a lot. I don't think he's the best wrestler, one of the best black wrestlers. He's above average, good stuff. Hilarious on the mic. Love him on the mic. Fucking funny. This little Jimmy thing's actually quite hilarious. Waiting for somebody to like fake kick him and R-Truth go, little Jimmy! It'd be pretty damn funny. Next, we got Bobby Lashley. This guy never really reached the potential. I think he didn't really have the charisma to make it to the very top. He was a good, he was good in the ring, he had a good presence. I don't think he was particularly good in the ring worker, had a good time at WrestleMania, alright. Next, Ahmed Johnson, pretty much exactly the same with Bobby Lashley, had all the tools to do it, but never quite made it. I think him turning heel was a big fucking mistake back in 97 or 98 when he joined the Nation of Domination, never recovered. Should have always been a face, it's a shame. This guy wasn't a wrestler, but I fucking love him. Slick Rick, baby! He's a funny ass motherfucker. Love him to death. And he was really good on Raw 1000. Pretty damn cool dude. Has to have a mention. Now to the official top 10, everybody. First, we've got, this is quite controversial perhaps, Mabel/Viscera. Now, he wasn't like the best wrestler of the time, and the ones I've mentioned before could be in there, but I've got to say, this guy was a waste of talent. He could have been fucking good. Like, he was actually very agile for the size he was, and let's not forget, he won King of the Ring in 95 when it actually meant something. The two wrestlers before and after him who won the King of the Ring were Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold, and Triple H. Now, he won it, and in my opinion was a bullshit choice picking him, I have to say, but he could have actually been somebody, and he could have been really imposing kind of wrestler, but he was never quite properly used. But and he's a legend. He's been around for a long time too, so I kind of think he deserves to be in the top 10. Somebody who could have been a really scary guy, but never quite worked out. I think he was typecast too many times, as in his original gimmick in '94 was pretty cheesy, kind of annoying. Then when he came back as Viscera, it was too. This is the problem with like wrestling in 1999. There were too many wrestlers who were typecast, like Val Venus or Mr. Ass, who can never break out of their kind of role, and Viscera is quite like that, but he still gets my number 10. 11, we got MVP. I really liked MVP when he was around. I thought he was a really good wrestler. His gimmick was great. I loved his music. He's fucking cocky. His face turns sucked, really fucked him up. I think another reason why the WWE doesn't have that many great stars now is because I think they wasted a lot of talent in 2007, pushed a lot of guys that never came into it, like him and Mr. Kenny, for example. But MVP was a great wrestler, and in my opinion has got to be in the top 10. Next, Kofi Kingston. I don't really like Kofi Kingston too much. I think it's quite boring, but you can't deny he's a fucking good wrestler. He had a great match just a couple of weeks ago with Dolph Ziggler on Raw. I think his main problem, in my opinion, is the lack of his mic skills and his build. He's way too skinny, in my opinion. It's not believable enough. But if he bulked up and got some mic skills, he could really be a good star. Like, in a way, he doesn't deserve to be in this list because he hasn't made anything of his career yet. But I'm going to put him in here just for potential and the fact that he is pretty, he's very damn good in the ring. Next, we've got Tony Atlas. This guy was a legend. He came around with Mark Henry quite recently in the WWE. really great, big star in the 80s, was actually the first person to ever pin Hulk Hogan legitimately in the ring. And I watched WrestleMania 2 recently. He was in the Battle Royale. Really big, imposing guy. Pretty damn funny. There's a great shoot interview of him you should watch on YouTube where he's talking about the hoe bag or something like that. Check him, Tony Atlas hoe bag. Really funny stuff. Next, Junkyard Dog. Great wrestler, love him. Like, he was always in the 80s and all the early WrestleManias. Was a great face. I think it says a lot about kind of humanity and like that actually people aren't that bad and racist, because he always got such a cheer. And I think it says a lot about the wrestling industry being a good tool for bringing people together of all kind of races and cultures. Because even though a lot of the evil guys are always foreign, there are some notable names who were like of a certain race or culture, like Ricky Steamboat, for example, that really went over in the 80s, and I think demonstrated that at the end of the day we're all the same, and people could, a white crowd could still dig a black wrestler, and JYD was a great example of that. I don't think he would have been a good wrestler now if he was to appear now. I don't think he'd really make much of himself, but just for his sheer like presence and like role in the history of the WWF, he's got to be here. WWF, fucking WWE sucks, eh? Next, top 5 in my opinion, this guy was the fucking awesome. Devon Dudley, he has to be in here. He wasn't the best wrestler in the world, but the fact remains is he has been in some of the best matches of all time. Really, in review this after I finish this, in the top 10 wrestlers I give you, I guarantee you almost none of them have been in the more memorable matches than Devon Dudley. He was in some epic matches, and I don't think people really appreciate enough how good the Dudleys were as a tag team. Obviously they always did so many spots, loads of violent stuff, great on the mic, but actually they were fantastic at working together. They've been in the ring for a long time, and I think Devon Dudley is a bit of a legend, and the Dudleys won multiple belts, so he has to be in my top 5. Next we've got Shelton Benjamin, the guy who never quite made it. I've always liked Shelton Benjamin. He's probably the best wrestler on this top 10 in my list technically. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't the best kind of guy on the mic. We didn't have the kind of in-ring presence, so he never quite made it. It is a bit of a shame, but people always say that like black wrestlers never make it to the top, but actually I really do think if you look at this list and scrutinize it a lot, what they say in the business is there's always something holding someone back. There's a reason why they never get to the top, and I have to say with Shelton Benjamin, he didn't get to the top because he didn't have the charisma, which is a big shame. Third, we've got Mark Henry. Now, in a way, he has accomplished not that much in his 15 years in the business. He really hasn't done that much, but 2011 when he became the world champion, I really liked him. I thought he was awesome, really dominating. I fucking loved his music. You're gonna get your ass kicked. That was pretty damn cool. Had he never been injured so often, he could have been where he was in 2011, perhaps back in 2004. So Mark Henry could have been number 1 in this list because he's pretty decent in the ring. He's a monster heel. He's legitimately one of the only wrestlers we have today that I would not want to walk into in a fucking dark alley. I seriously would not want to fucking walk into him. Shelton Benjamin, whatever, I'll take him. But Mark Henry, scary motherfucker, and had he not been injured so much, he could have been really up there. Second, Ron Simmons, absolute legend. I think he was the first black guy to proper win like a major belt when he was in WCW. Great guy, awesome in WCW. I tell you what I love so much, Nation of Domination, probably one of my favourite stables ever. They were fucking awesome, really controversial, kind of scary. If the Nation of Domination were real people, I would not like them because they're racist motherfuckers, but that was so good for the heel shit. It scared people. It's really scary, the Nation of Domination. It had that really cool music, and Ron Simmons was the leader, and he made that whole faction work, great for that. And then obviously, how can I not forget the APA? He was great with the Acolytes, great wrestler. His finish with the Dominator is awesome. He kicks ass. Ron Simmons, number 2, no doubt. Now, number 1, you smart motherfuckers out there probably know, wait a minute, aren't there 2 wrestlers still to go? I have not included The Rock in this list. I don't think The Rock fully constitutes being a black wrestler. He's half Samoan, quarter black, quarter white. He's a quarter black, like, if his mother wasn't Samoan and kind of darker skinned, and his mother was a white woman, and he was 1/4 black, he would not be in this list. You know it. But it just so happens that Samoans are also kind of dark. So I'm afraid I'm not going to put The Rock in this thing. And if I was to say African Americans, he's mostly Samoan, and Samoan culture is quite different from African culture. So sorry, Rock, he would obviously win this thing, but I don't class him quite as this. But number 1, obviously, without any question, is Booker T. Absolute legend. He's been around for a long time, originally in WCW with Harlem Heat. Great wrestler. won the ECW, 5-time WCW champion, motherfucker! Great shit, fucking love the motherfucker, damn cool. Won the belt. I didn't actually really like his title reign as King Booker. I thought that was pretty fucking annoying. And his wife, how annoying was that shit? But yeah, obviously it goes without saying, Booker T's a great wrestler, fucking legend. Should have been WWF champion in my opinion. Great in worker. He had literally everything, and that's why he has to be number one, because he has all the tools to be a top wrestler, and I think he just about managed to do that in his life. So that was my top 10 black wrestlers of all time, and yay, Black History Month, even though I think it's a pretty questionable fucking Black History Month. What about White History Month? I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.